Hello, and welcome to the last episode in our creativity series. If this is your first time here, wow, we have a lot of videos for you. Go watch a lot of other ones. But if this is your first time here, I'm Allie. I'm the author of The Perception Diet, and this is actually the very last part of a series on creativity. And I would highly recommend that you go back and watch all the other parts. And just for you, I've put the links to all those parts down below. So if you're like all excited about watching a video on manifestation, save it till the end because it's going to be better and you're going to understand it more and it's going to be more impactful if you watch all the other parts first, okay? So, and if you've been following along, watch all the other parts first. Welcome back. Hello, and we're here. Okay, so in this video, I am going to talk about manifestation in the context of a creative, joyful life. And we forever on this channel are going to be talking about manifestation. We're going to be talking about creation. We're going to be talking about all of these concepts because these are evolving ideas. We're never going to reach the pinnacle of this is how it works and now we've got it sorted and we don't need to talk about it anymore because life is continuing to expand and evolve and grow. And I am continuing to expand, evolve, and grow. And I'm telling you this for a reason. I know you're thinking, Rush, tell me how I manifest my dreams. Get to the point. I will. But this is part of the point, okay? I am always learning, growing, and changing. I do not believe in enlightenment in the sense of I have it all figured out and I'm done now. And this is part of the reason why I have been able to create what I have been able to create with perception trainers and will continue to be able to create what I will create with perception trainers and feel I have the right to talk about living a creative life. Because I am continually interested in life and in about learning what I don't already know, in about expanding my box of what I think reality is and learning how there were things I wasn't seeing before and how that applies to how I can live my life. So we have talked a lot on this channel about evolution, expansion of consciousness, becoming more ordered, structured, and complex. And today I'm going to sort of tie some of these ideas together so that this manifestation thing appears way less superstitious than it is for most people. Yeah? For most people, we're learning that it's what you think about is what you manifest in your life. What you feel is what you manifest in your life. And of course, right? Anything that sounds that simple probably isn't the whole truth. And we know that it's not the whole truth because it doesn't always work. Okay? And that's very simple to understand. If it doesn't work every time, it's not the answer. If it's the answer, it works every time. And so if it were really true that all we had to do was think about something to manifest it, everyone would have died in a plane crash because we've all thought about it. Everyone would have manifested $1 million because we've all thought about it. This is just not, thinking about it is a part of it, okay? It's a piece of truth, and we're going to get to this. But it's not the whole thing. And this right here, this little idea that I'm going to give you right now, that if you stop watching, but you take this and you use this in your life, you will not even need to watch the other parts on creativity because you're going to start to live a massively creative life on your own just from this. And that is this. The second you move from assuming life is wrong, that there are paradoxes, things that are right, things that are wrong, things that should be, things that shouldn't be. There are parts of reality that exist and parts that don't. And you're trying to figure out which parts exist and which parts don't. Or none of it exists because I can't figure it out. The second you move from that into whatever is showing up in my life is showing up to teach me something, you got it. This is it. The second you move out of judgment and into What am I not seeing? What don't I know yet? I will constantly be learning. The point of this life is not to get it all sorted out. The point of this life is to continue to learn, grow, change, and expand forever. The second you let yourself off the hook of having to have it all figured out, trying to get to the heaven of enlightenment or being finished, being done, being perfect, knowing everything before it happens, no more new experiences, retirement, death. That is death. That is how we stop manifestation of new things. And we get ourselves trapped in exactly the thing we're experiencing now. Why? Okay, here's why. We must think of reality like a puzzle that is a giant image. It's a very complex, giant image composed of puzzle pieces. As we evolve our consciousness, okay, starting from a baby, we can only perceive one or two of those puzzle pieces because the rest of it is too complex for the vessel that we have. It's too complex for the understanding that we hold. Yes? A baby is essentially concerned with eating, sleeping, and pooping. Everything else to a baby is white noise. Literally, they can only see a couple of inches in front of their face for the first few months or weeks of their life. Right? Everything else is filtered out because it's so far beyond their capacity to understand, to grasp, to make meaning out of, that they just filter it out. Then as the baby grows, so as the baby masters eating, sleeping, and pooping, it's going to start to move into moving their body. So what was just nothing, right? Literally a baby for a long period of time can't even perceive the difference between themselves and their caregivers. There is no my body and your body. It's just white noise. And then all of a sudden, that fuzziness that's on the outside, that is the distinction between my body and your body, that fuzziness becomes not fuzzy anymore. We expand out and we look at that and we see, okay, my body and I'm moving it. Oh, I can move it. I can control it. I can move my head. I can sit up. And that's another huge expansion of their awareness. Now, again, at that point, they're going to start to notice mom and dad walking around and moving their bodies and stirring things and moving their arms and all this. And they're going to start to notice that they can't do that. And that's going to be very frustrating. So there's going to be all these pieces of the puzzle of movement that are seemingly contradictory to the baby. Yes? My arms are different from my legs, different from my mom, different from how do all these pieces fit together? And they struggle and they struggle and they struggle to sit up and to crawl and then to walk, and then eventually they hit this critical mass where they put all those pieces of what mom's doing and what I'm observing with her and my arms and my legs and all that, and then all of a sudden they can walk, right? They put all those fuzzy pieces together and they still have maintained eating and pooping and sleeping, and now they can move their body and they have all of this new information about how the reality functions through that, looking at each piece at a time. My body's different than yours, that's one piece. My legs are different than my arms, that's another piece. Mom is doing something I can't do, that's another piece. And then we fit them all together in that context, and that's how we walk. And then we expand out again, and all of a sudden all the noises that were just noise become distinct. The mom talking, the dad talking, the caregivers talking, different and distinct from the dog barking, the car driving by. And the sounds that mom and dad or my caregivers are making are also distinct. And they mean something. Yes? So that's a huge another layer of reality that now it's a whole bunch of more information that was white noise before, that because I mastered this layer and then I mastered this layer, I get this layer. We master that and then we can speak. And then right? So like, for instance, the baby is not understanding or taking in that we need to go for groceries, that we need to pay rent, that these survival things are not just provided for us. That's completely, again, filtered out, totally beyond their level of complexity. And then as the child grows into an adult, all of a sudden, they can eat and sleep and poop and walk and speak, and they can start to understand how to go to school and then master that, having relationships, and they become more and more and more complex. Every single time their reality expanded out, every single time they took in new information, there was a frustration. And we watch this with children. They get frustrated that they can't talk. They get frustrated that they can't move their bodies. They get frustrated. And they're frustrated because it's a whole bunch of new information that doesn't make sense yet. I can't put it all together and make it applicable and applicable to creating more order, structure, and complexity in my life. Okay, so this is that level of learning that adults get messed up with. Okay, the baby is not judging anything as wrong. It's taking in all the information and trying to figure out how it all fits together to create the desired goal. That is perfect manifestation. How does everything that I'm perceiving in my reality fit together to give me the complexity to create my desired outcome? That right there is frickin' manifestation. Okay? So you need to understand that the way that your consciousness works is you will, again, be given whatever you can understand, your level of order and complexity. That is what you're perceiving in your reality right now. You need to understand that at your level of complexity, at my level of complexity, all of us, we're filtering out a whole bunch of stuff that has nothing to do with what we can perceive in this moment, because it's not pertinent to the next level of us learning. Okay? As we master 5 pieces of the puzzle, so we understand those 5 pieces, we understand how they fit together, we can see the image, we get that. What that translates to in life is we can walk. Okay? It's applicable. All of these things that we learned about how to move the arms, how to move the legs, it's applicable to creating more order, structure, and complexity in our everyday life. We go from not being able to walk, because that was all white noise, to all of those pieces of the puzzle that don't fit together, but we are learning it one thing at a time. And then we put them all together, we understand this new layer of reality we didn't understand before, and we have now a new skill. We're more complex. Yes? And we require more energy now to maintain that complexity, and then more energy to become more complex. So this is the thing. We learn by mastering those 5 pieces. And then what's going to happen is your perception of your reality is going to expand out to take in the 10 around it. And what is going to happen as adults, okay, this is what's happening as adults. We've gotten to a place where we've expanded out to 10 pieces, say. And we can't figure out how piece 1 over here and piece 7 over here fit together. We don't get that, because this is all, right? So essentially, what I mean by the pieces of the puzzle is the things that are occurring in your life. Literally the things that are occurring in your life. Your relationships, your jobs, your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, everything that's going on with you. You're not seeing how all of that is reality itself and how it fits together to make you more complex in your understanding of how the reality works, and therefore giving you tools and skills to become the next most complex version of yourself, which is the next layer of creation that you are here to share. So you expand out to these 10 pieces now, and you think, oh gosh, okay, first of all, now there's all this new information that I don't understand. And I don't understand how it fits into the old thing that I knew. So which is right and which is wrong? That's where we get lost. We go, okay, a part of the puzzle must be right and a part of the puzzle must be wrong. I'm seeing 10 pieces, but maybe 4 of these don't fit. That is where we get fucked up. Okay? No. Oh my goodness. My phone was like, yes. I don't even know what that was. So when we see the 10 pieces, and as adults, we start to say, that's wrong. That shouldn't be happening. This should be happening and it isn't. I don't understand why I can't get to from where I am to where I want to be. It is because we are in resistance to learning about the reality that we're in right now. So manifestation boils down to this. You have a desire of where you want to go. That is you at a level of complexity that is greater than the level of complexity that you're at right now. That is you understanding something about the reality and about yourself that you do not understand right now. Right now you have paradox. You have this, and they don't seem to fit together. You have your work life and you have your personal life, and they seem to be two different things. You have cognitive dissonance. I think this is how the body works, and then I see someone who contradicts that, right? I think this is what health is, and then I see someone and they don't look like that, but they seem to be healthy. They must not be. This is where we're getting all messed up. The job that I'm in is not the job that I want, so it must be wrong. No. This is where we're messing ourselves up. We must move into a state of saying everything that's occurring is reality. It's a part of the puzzle that I need to know. The paradox and the seeming confusing things, the contradictory things, the things that I think this opposes this and I don't understand how they can both exist, so I'm going to try and get rid of one, that is how you get stuck. Because in order to expand to your next level of complexity, which is what you want to manifest, yes, you have to understand this. We go out in integers. If you don't get these 10 pieces, how all of these fit together, how they fit into the context of the first 5, and how all of that works, you're not going to expand out to the 20 pieces, the next 20 pieces that you're going to need to be at that level of complexity. So understand this. Whatever it is that you want to desire, that you want to manifest, is the next level of complexity that you're not at yet. And the way you get to that level of complexity is right fucking here. It's this. It's what you're in. It's everything you're resisting. It's everything that doesn't make sense to you. It's everything that's contradicting. It's all the ways you're having to weave stories to make reality fit the box that you have right now, instead of saying, this doesn't fit my box, so I need to expand my box. This is manifestation. You need to be willing to take all the things that make you uncomfortable, that you don't understand, that all the concepts that don't seem to fit together, that it must have to be one or the other, it couldn't be both of these things. No, it's both. And it's your job to figure out how everything in your reality is exactly how it's supposed to be. It's your job to figure out how everything in your reality works. Why is it like that? How is it possible that these two things can exist simultaneously? When I run into cognitive dissonance, I get excited. When I run into something that busts up my paradigm, I am like, yes, bust up that paradigm. I want to get this. This is new information. If it's happening, it's reality. We have to get rid of this idea that nothing exists, or that if I don't understand it, I can't understand it, or it's wrong, or if there's paradox, something is wrong. No. If it's happening, it's happening. Everyone's asking me, how do I learn from reality? Stop judging shit as wrong. It's really that simple. Stop judging it as wrong. If it's a scary, big, emotional, horrible thing that you don't want to do, why? Why is it happening? What is it trying to show you about reality? And understand, it's not a lesson. It's giving you what you need to become complex enough to handle living the life you want to live. Because for me, manifesting this life that I have required a whole bunch of work. I had to become so much more complex. I have to keep so many more balls in the air to keep this creative life going. And I can do it because I stopped judging it as wrong. Everything that happened to me, I said, okay, I want to understand that. I don't live in magic. If I don't understand it, I'm studying it. I don't reject it, or I don't assume it's magic. I want to get it. I need to understand the mechanism. And you can, but you have to be committed to that. So manifestation is, I'm committed to learning from everything in my life. Assume it's right. What is it showing me? Where am I expanding? Where am I growing? Okay? Questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. See you later.